Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Dorenkamp with Managing for Profit on Brownfield, a content partnership with Corteva Agriscience. My guest today is Nebraska farmer Grady Johnson, owner and operator at 37 Ag, who's going to talk about his operation and plans for the 2025 growing season. Grady, let's start with some background on your farming operation, where you're located, the history of 37 Ag, and what crops you grow.
Well, thanks, Mark, for giving me the opportunity to come on with you today. We're 37 Ag located in south central Nebraska near Holdridge. I'll be the sixth generation that is returned back to the farm, and I have the privilege of getting to farm with both my dad and younger brothers on our irrigated corn and soybean operation.
I understand you've switched to Enlist E3 soybeans on your farm. What were some of the factors that led to that decision?
Yeah, since I've been back on the farm, or even in high school when I was involved in our farming operation, I've kind of seen the transition between when we first started out with Roundup soybeans and we thought we had everything figured out, a couple post passes with glyphosate, and we had clean soybean fields. And then when weeds became resistant to glyphosate, we had dicamba as a tool. With dicamba resistant beans, and we saw the same story there, just in a shorter period of time with resistance to dicamba, and have been a part of the transition to Enlist soybeans, and we've been extremely happy with our weed control and yields.
Let's get into the weeds a little bit, pun intended there, with your weed control program, Grady. And as far as residual herbicides or tank mix partners that you plan to use with Enlist, what's the program look like for this year?
Yeah, we start with a residual herbicide program, and it's a fairly cheap, just sulfentrazone before planting. And we usually try, if we don't get any rain, to activate that herbicide with pivots, so that we're setting ourselves up for success before we even put the soybean in the ground. And then we're following that up with post passes with Enlist and a glufosinate tank mix partner. As well as an encapsulated acetochlor such as Inversa this year. And usually that's a 2-pass program.
For farmers that will be using Enlist E3 soybeans for the first time this year, what advice would you give them?
We were hesitant in our area. It was a pretty slow area to adapt from dicamba to the Enlist soybeans. And you drive around in June and July and see some of the cupping in those Enlist soybeans from whether that be neighbor soybean fields still using dicamba or dicamba from posting corn. And they just didn't look very good from the road. And that was always our hesitancy. And I can say after switching to Enlist, we still do see some of that cupping, but our yields have not only been really, really great, but more consistent, we have found, than some of our past soybean varieties. So overall, really happy with weed control and yield from Enlist soybeans.
I better ask you how the spring has gone so far on your farm too.
Yeah, we've been dry. Fortunate to have center pivot irrigation to help get some moisture in the ground before planting. Luckily, I've caught some good timely rains here, but we should be wrapped up with planting tomorrow, which will be the fastest planting since I've been back on the farm. So.
Well, thank you so much, Grady, and good luck this growing season.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Farmers can get more information on the Enlist system by contacting their local Corteva Agriscience representative or going to enlist.com. I'm Mark Dorenkamp with Managing for Profit on Brownfield, a content partnership with Corteva Agriscience.